right, today we are going to work on a Quattro. So this is a instrument from, Mexico, South America regions. It's kind of like tuned like a 12-string guitar, only we're missing a set of strings. So this has 10 strings on it instead of 12 for like a 12-string, but a very similar concept. So here we go. We're going to take this and we're going to take and get this. We actually have a fret buzz right here. So we're going to go ahead and take this and connect it into the workstation. And this is from Total Vice, of course. Huge fan of those. I'm going to take and we're going to take, and I'm going to take a fret rocker to this real quick just to show you kind of where things are. So customer brought it in. Actually, customer received this as a gift. And when they tried to play it, they hit, as you can see right here, and maybe you can hear it, we have a really bad rock right here. One fret that is quite tall, right here at the body junction. Now, this is unfortunately kind of common in our area because we have such a low humidity, and so it causes the neck right here at the heel to actually shrink. It drops down. And then here at the body junction, because the block that's right here, the grain orientation is straight vertical up and down, then it doesn't shrink. And so you end up with this hump right here at the body. Now, it is really common for a lot of these types of instruments that it's really not worth, pulling this neck out, doing the neck reset to fix the problem, truly, but we're going to fix the symptoms. So we're going to take and file this fret and make it level with the rest, and then we just go from there. So we're going to take, first off is going to loosen some strings so I can actually get to that fret. And I'm also going to add a little pad right here at the back of the heel and support the back of this guitar as I'm working on it. Okay, so we're going to take and loosen this up real quick so that I can pull these strings off to the sides while I work on them. I'm actually going to speed this up with a winder real quick. With this slotted headstock, it can be kind of interesting sometimes. Okay, that's better. I have one of my neighbors is playing music pretty loud, so we can't, having a hard time hearing that. All right, now these are all loose, and I'm gonna take and actually just split these half and half. I'm gonna stick half over here. Oh, the nut's loose. We'll glue that back into place while we're at it. And then I'm also gonna take and use a string spreader right here. There we go. Keep those down out of the way. And now we're going to work right here on this fret. So I'm actually going to use, so we can see here with the fret rocker, we have a pretty good rock. So what I'm actually going to use on this, because the rest of these frets actually look pretty good. Like there's really not much, these all look, there's a little, well, nope. Everything looks pretty good here, except for this one area. And that's the only complaint really this customer has. So I'm actually going to use the Stumac fret kisser right there. So this is basically just a fret rocker that's got diamond stones, just like it's got a little diamond grit right in the middle and all the sides, just like that. And so this is what we're going to use. So I'm going to take and span those 3 frets, and I'm actually just going to sit here and I'm going to work this a little bit back and forth. And we're just going to slowly start grinding off that, and it'll stop. I'm going to get a little longer here. And I'll get back with you when this is all ground down flush. All right, now we got some lost footage here. I did not find it until I was in edit, which of course means the guitar is gone. And I'm not gonna go back and refile a fret to make it lower. So here's another guitar that we're gonna go over this particular step that was not in it. So we have our fret that is flattened, level with the others. So now we take and I use a Sharpie, red, black, cyan, magenta, whatever you want to use. It's just there simply to let you know when you've hit the top of it. So you can see the top of that is red, and I'm going to grab 2 pieces of tape. And I put one right here. One right there. And now we're going to file this. So now you simply just I use a triangle file, and I start working this from end to end. And basically as I go, I start rolling this. Because I'm putting that curvature back into the fret. And I'm just watching that line, that red line on mine, to see when I have brought it all the way back up to the center. Just like that. Okay. So now we're back to shape, and now back to the Quattro. Whip out the sanding stick. Now the sanding stick has a notch. You can't see this under the paper right here on the tip, and you can see where I've used it on other frets right there. This has been filed to match the crown shape, and now I can just go in and we're going to take all the file marks out of it. I'm not looking to alter the shape. We're just basically now going to polish this back out. So I'm going to take this, just run that along there a little bit with that curved shape, and it really does help just kind of finalize that round a little bit. Get that curvature nice. Get a couple of, that's a big scratch mark right there. Let's get that one out, make it look good. There we go, I like that. And now for doing these single frets, I actually just like using the fret erasers for this, for just single frets like this. If for something that I was going to do, and these are the StewMac ones, this is a 400 grit, and you can see I've used it enough that I've got kind of a nice rounded notch in there. I can just stick that fret right in there and just start working it. Let's see, you got a little spot on the top there. I'm gonna work with a flat spot. Got just a couple scratch marks I want to get out of the top there. It didn't come out with the sander. And you can see already it's getting to be a pretty nice sheen. And then I'm actually, this one here, I'm going to take kind of the frets around it and just hit them just a little bit, just to kind of help blend in this work. This is now a 600 grit. Then an 800 grit. Like I said, just kind of work into either side just a little bit, just to kind of help blend all this back in. Now last one is 1000 grit. And this puts a really nice sheen on this single fret. And I'm just going to kind of go a couple frets on either direction with this 1000, just to kind of help give it the same sheen as you go up. And we actually got the binding on the edge of the fretboard's loose right there. So we're actually going to take and just tack that down real quick. So we're going to take a little bit of thin CA glue, and I'm actually going to put it in a cup, because I don't want I don't want any more than I have to have. And so this fits up tight right there. So we're actually going to put this little, stick that. Just hold that down for a second. There we go. Blow on it just a second. It's actually the moisture in the air that sets off CA glue. So your breath, which is moist, will help set it off as well. Okay. Okay. Still acting like it doesn't want to set. We're just going to hit the spot of accelerator. There we go. Now it's holding tight. Perfect. So that's taken care of so it doesn't peel away for the customer. For the nut, it popped off, so we're just going to take and just put a little spot of CA glue on it. And this is actually the gel. I like putting just like a little dot on there, or two. You don't want much, but you just want enough just to hold it in place while the strings are off. And I personally like the thick CA glue because it tends not to soak in as much. And it is slightly more elastic, so it doesn't, as the temperature changes, humidity changes, it tends not to move around as much, or it holds anyway. So we're going to put that back into place. That's nice and secured now. Now we're going to look at this. I'm actually just going to add a just very slight shim under this. It is going to be plastic. I know, you're not supposed to, but this is a plastic saddle, so no harm, no foul. Oops. So we're going to take actually just some really thin, this is actually binding, just some real thin stuff. It's a 64th thick. And I keep this stuff on hand just for this, so I can kind of get me a length that I need it. And it's definitely not the best shim stock out there, but for an inexpensive instrument that you're just doing a little bit of work on, that it definitely does the job. So I'm actually going to take lift this saddle up just a little bit. And he just replaced the strings on this, so I don't really want to fool with taking the strings off if I don't have to. Okay, so I need to trim that down just a little bit. Whoops. You can see that thing is tight enough that it will actually, I can lift it up in that saddle and it stays there, so. Okay. Perfect, just tuck that under, push that back down. Now we have just a slight shim under that saddle. Like I said, that isn't my first choice ever, just to put a shim under it, but for what the customer wanted, then that's what we got. So take that tape off. Now we're going to oil this board while I have it free. Just like that. And we're just going to work this around. As you can see, that board goes a darker color. In this dry climate, this definitely does help. Now, it looks like there may be a wax or something on this board, which is, I mean, there's definitely people that do that. I'm not a real fan of the waxes just because when when the moisture does get back out of it, it's really hard to put it back in. But you can see as it sits here, it definitely is darkening up. So that oil is getting down in there and kind of soaking that wood back up. Makes it look a lot nicer. And we'll go from there. Okay, so now I'm going to take the string spreader back out, just like that, and start placing these strings back in. Now the tuning on this is tuned just like it's like a 12 string. At least that's how he had it. That's the way he wants to tune it. So I said that's fine. Now traditionally there might be a different tuning for these. I am not entirely sure. I will say I'm not super familiar with these. I have worked on like 3 altogether in 20 years. So I haven't had a really good reason to do the research on how these things are strung up. Okay, so now we're gonna take this out a little bit so I can tune it. And we're going to use the winder for this. All right, and so here we're back. We've got the Quattro. Whoops. Anyway, it's a cool little instrument. So it's got those cool, crazy little C-bouts right there. You know, nice and small and tight, mahogany back and sides. Actually a pretty piece, I like it. But anyway, there you go. Little Quattro with taking care of some fret buzz and a little bit of action work. So nothing too crazy. This is a pretty simple one as far as what things that I do, but you know, it's fun to do little projects like this and see cool little instruments. So I hope that was a fun one for you guys. It's kind of fun to work on these little instruments that I don't see all the time. And stay tuned for some more stuff. The interviews are coming, and we have lots more repairs, some more setup stuff I'm going to do. I'm going to start doing some more simple stuff too, along with the bigger repairs, and just to show you guys kind of a variety of what I actually do. So you guys be kind to each other, and we'll see you on the next one.